fashion show. There are roads, we have cherry blossom across Bangalore. Have you seen it?
Yes, yes, yes.
The trees of blossom with pink, purple, yellow and red flowers. It is the time to ditch your treadmill and go for long walks and enjoy nature at its best. It is also the time for me to pitch few pitches for few things to enjoy Toastmasters meeting to the fullest. So let's ditch the distractions. What is the biggest distraction in our life? Mobile. So let's put our phones on silent. I will quickly check mine also. Alright. Next, please avoid moving around the room when the meeting is going on. And if you have to move, or if you have to enter or exit the room, then please do so when you hear the sweet sound of an applause. Thank you. And lastly, let's ditch any controversies. And for that, let's avoid talking on the topics gender, religion, and politics. Are we all set?
Yes.
So it is time now for me to pitch for the captain of the ship. The captain of the ship is a trainer, a mentor, and a coach for public communication. And when I used time again, or pitch for ditch, or all these terms, these are a few techniques which I'm learning from our captain. He calls this technique echo, where a word or a sound is repeated during a speech to make the speeches interesting. Now, I don't know whether you found my speech interesting or not, but his speeches have the best of turns and twists, and I am sure you would all agree with me, right? Speeches have the best word games. He's literally playing with words in his speeches. For that, let's call the maestro himself. Let's put our hands together, ladies and gentlemen, in welcoming the president of Bangalore Toastmasters Club, Sheeb Kumar.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kaur, for that wonderful, soothing introduction. Thank you so much. Give a round of applause for our Good evening, my fellow Toastmasters and guests.
Good evening.
Good evening. I declare the meeting number 1473 open. Before we begin the actual meeting, I request our acting secretary, Toastmaster Bryan, to give some glimpses from the previous meeting.
Good evening, dear members and guests. Let's look at what happened in the previous meeting number 1472. Happened on the 4th of April 2025. With the theme, don't settle for good, aim for great. The word of the day was surpass. The awardees are as follows. The best speaker went to Toastmaster Mahesh Lokesh. The best evaluator went to Toastmaster Rashi Balgota. The best goal taker went to Toastmaster Vaidenathan Dureshwami. The best tag team player went to Toastmaster Girish K, and the best table topic speaker was Toastmaster Alagammai. 31 members attended the meeting with 16 guests.
is there any amendments to the minutes of the meeting? No. We declare the minutes of the meeting number 1472 passed. Thank you so much. I request the guests who came here for the first time to please stand from your seats. Thank you so much for joining with us. We hope that you will have a wonderful evening today. And members, how do we welcome the guests? Once again, good evening everyone.
Good evening.
Pradeep and I were classmates during our MBA days. He was more than a classmate, he was my roommate also. But roommate is a fancy word for the person who can annoy you the most for free. And Pradeep is an expert extrovert. His favorite post-dinner hobby is room hopping. He would visit each room in the hostel to spread his knowledge like a politician on a campaign trail. After sharing all the wisdom and joy till the midnight, where would he land up? Back in our room. By the time I would be half asleep in my dream, and Pradeep strolls into the room at midnight as if it's high noon and switches on the light, not the soft bedside light, the tube light. And our room is like the floodlit stadium, just like Chinnaswamy Stadium. And then he begins his sacred bedtime ritual. That's reading the mysterious novels of Robert Brecon. But fast forward now, I still think about that. His name is Pradeep, and in Sanskrit it means light, right? Poetic. But thank God, today we are not roommates, but we are city mates. Pradeep lives in Nama, Bangalore. And one day, he called me, "Hey Macha," for those who does not speak Bangalorean, Macha means, "Hey Macha." I just made it up. He said, "Hey Macha, what are you doing on this Sunday?" I told him, "I am busy till 2 p.m. So he said, "Let's catch up after 2 p.m. For your information, Pradeep does not make any plans, he makes timelines. So we got up for lunch, and then since Pradeep lives at Kothari, so we both decided to take the metro. When the metro approached the platform, I witnessed a familiar scene. Pradeep launched himself into an Olympic spin mode. He was weaving through the people, elbowing the fellow passengers and trying to grab a seat. And when he got the seat, he was just like a 10-year-old boy who just stole a candy from a store and got away with it. Then I thought myself, this guy has never changed after all these years. Then the plot twist. I saw Pradeep getting up from the seat to an elderly person, smiling. I felt that he didn't just do it for the sake of feeling good. He genuinely felt inside his heart as if he felt like he gave a kidney to someone, or maybe helped someone to cross the road without recording for the Instagram. It was not one of an incident. Every time I walk or I travel to Pradeep, I saw this incident, like sprinting, taking the seat, smiling, standing up, and serving. That's when I realized Pradeep knows that there is someone who needs a seat, some elderly person. So he does the dirty work every time, even though in front of his passengers he looked a little rude or awkward. He was like the Robin Hood of public transport, stealing the seat from the system and giving it elderly. So I felt that he was living the quote by Maya Angelou, that be a rainbow in someone else's proud. You don't need to do everything for someone to be the rainbow and someone else proud. You just have to do the tiny things, make a small difference. Maybe it could be a kind gesture, maybe a joke at the right time, or maybe just listening attentively to a person without looking into your mobile phone every 10 seconds. You don't have to carry a toolbox and look like a motivational company. You just have to be yourself and do those tiny little things that make a difference in each one of us lives. Look, to make a difference in today's meeting, we have a person who's going to come here. When I was a Toastmaster of the day, and a relatively new Toastmaster introduced me, like the next speaker does not have any introduction. What he meant was, the next speaker does not need any introduction. But the speaker who is going to come here comes with not just an introduction, a 2-page introduction maybe, with a coffee break in the middle. He is a stalwart who dedicated more than 25 years of his life into public service with Karnataka government and retired as the principal secretary with the Karnataka legislature. That means he has not just pushed people, he had pushed even the government. He didn't stop there. He thought to outlast the bureaucracy, he decided to start a Toastmaster Club in 1997 April. And that is this beautiful club called Bangalore Toastmasters. Ladies and gentlemen, please give your applause for the Bhishma Pitamaha of Bangalore Toastmasters, the Chief Encouraging Officer, CEO of Bangalore Toastmasters, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Robinson D'Souza.
Please sit down. Take your seat fast. Time is running out. Hello, Toastmasters and guests. Did you hear him that speaking about me? But previous Tuesday, this person had removed me from this club. Yes, I was shocked. Later on, I realized that it was April 1st. He played April Fool joke on me, and I believed it at the initial stage. Good evening, everyone present here.
Good evening.
I always thank my mom. I remember her because she told me for a day more, and I was delivered on 2nd of April. Now you know why I thank you. If I had come to this world a day earlier, I would have got birthday wishes, and at the end, by mistake. There are many newly joined members are here. Guests are here. Just raise your hand. You need not stand up. Newly joined. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. How many of you are coming for the first time, for the first meeting? In brief, I tell you what Toastmasters is. Dr. R. Smith started Toastmasters about 100 years ago. Last year we celebrated his centenary. Though he worked earlier than 1905 and all. But first regular meeting was held on 27th of July, Nitesh. Since then, there are a good number of Toastmaster clubs, more than 15,000 in more than 150 countries. The purpose is to help you to improve their communication skills as well as leadership skills. And those who have joined recently, I see plenty of them. Kindly raise your hands. Those who have really joined recently, raise your hand. Don't worry. Friends, I am going to prove you that this is one of the best decisions of your life, joining Toastmasters. Take for example my own. I joined Toastmasters by accident. I didn't know where I was going. My friend took me there. And after seeing the proceedings, then and there on that day, I joined. But I am the most benefited one. I am 76 years old now. Last year I gave a presentation for aging gracefully on wills, and it was recorded and published on YouTube. As a result, that is keeping me very busy every day. Today I have to attend 10 wills to be drafted. That's how busy I am on account of that one presentation I gave. Excuse me? You are distracting me. You have to listen to me. If not, I will open the door. I have been watching. Let us not waste others' time, please. Yeah. Then I had a speaking problem. I was done. That I thought that one day I will not come here to the stage or stage like this. Because on 3 occasions, when I was second standard, 8th standard, and later on, I ran away from the stage without missing the word. From there, I became the principal secretary of the law. Then I met another person. I was giving a presentation to a group of youth, about 15 persons were there. They had assembled to learn because they were appearing for the All India Civil Service examination. I gave a talk for 2 hours. And one gentleman sitting in the front, very well dressed, suit, excellent physique. He was staring at me, didn't smile, didn't ask me a question, didn't speak to anybody else. I noted it, as like I noted these 2 words. After the meeting, I ran after him to find out why he did not laugh or smile, why he didn't ask. And I realized that he was stammering. Even to speak to me at that time, he could not. Then I explained to him the benefit of Toastmasters. I had met him on Sunday. Next Friday, he was here earlier than I came, sitting on the last page. Ashish Varghese. Today, he is a triple DTM. Can you imagine? DTM is the highest award one can get in Toastmasters. He is triple DTM. That's a benefit we are going to have in Toastmasters. Now, coming to the theme. Be the rainbow in someone else's cloud. Be the useful. I consider excellent team you have chosen and benevolence. You have hear nice stories from my team and those participants who are going to be here. So far as I am concerned, let me share with you 2 stories. Those incidents happened in my life. I was a principal secretary for legislature. I was in Vungarala. It was 7 p.m. in the night evening, late evening. I was alone working. Suddenly, a couple came inside. They were shivering. They were unable to speak. I looked at them and called them sick. They almost refused. But then I asked them, please say, what's the problem? Then they narrated their problem to me. They were working for Accenture. Anybody here from Accenture now at the moment? We have members at Accenture. Girl was from Gujarat, boy was from Patna. Lalu Prasad was a chief minister there. They fell in love, belonged to different castes and married. Later the girl got a message from one of her close relatives that her parents, her father had sent Sumari killers here to eliminate him. Be careful. Immediately they went to their management, Accenture. Gave them all the details and sought relocation. They were relocated, orders were issued to relocate them to United States. Then they realized that the girl wife did not have a passport. Sumari killers were outside went to the passport office for the passport. Early in the morning, till 6 o'clock, nobody accepted the request, though they cried around. Nobody believed it. Then somebody told them, if you go to Vidhansa to room number 204, there is a person who can help. So they landed in my 204 class. I listened to them. After watching, I saw their papers, relocation order, then I believed them. I had a power to give a letter of recommendation to the passport officer to issue a passport without police verification. Yes, I alone take that letter. My staff order was not paid. Then they got the passport the next day. Be a rainbow in someone else's cloud. Let me share with you one more story of a member of our club. He is not here, so I request him to listen. Rajdi. All of you know Rajdi. You know his physical problems. He can't see. He resides in Shantinagar, one of the best central places in Bangalore. One day he called me. Robinson, I have some problem. I don't get, the water I get through my Kaveri water I get, it's smelling. You can't drink it. It's not water, chemical. I made telephone to theatre basis. I knew an engineer there by name Francis, whom I had just a few years ago. Then I asked him, gave him the direction and asked him to go and check. What had happened was, somebody wanted Rashdi to leave that place. He wanted to grab his property. So he had disconnected the Kaveri water, potable line, drinking water line, and connected to sewage. And Rashdi, a blind person, he was getting sewage through the drinking water. Imagine to what extent the people will go. Now, the information of the guests, we have 3 sessions, the same thing every week. We have corporate club, we have community club, this is a community club. First session is prepared speech session. Second session is impromptu speaking. And third session is evaluation. In evaluation, there is a tag team, timer, R counter, and grammarian, which they narrate to you. So far as the time is concerned, 2 persons in the tag team joined this club, the Toastmasters, in this month. The timer is a master in software and a software engineer. Be a rainbow. She bought food for a beggar when he was hungry. May I request that time manager Smitha to read the details of your role? Come to the front. Srinivas and your colleagues, please come to the front.
As Benjamin Franklin once said, lost time is never found again. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests.
Good evening.
Today I have the timer for this meeting, and here's the cards which we will follow throughout the meeting. For prepared speech, we'll show green, for prepared speech, which will range from 5 to 7 minutes. For 5 minutes, we'll show green. For 6 minutes, we'll show yellow, and for 7, we'll show red. For table topics, which will range from 1 minute to 1.5 minutes. For 1 minute, we again will show green. At 1 minute 15 seconds, we'll show yellow. And for 1 minute 30 seconds will show red. For evaluation, which will range from 2 to 3 minutes, for that, for 2 minutes will show 2, for 2.5 minutes will show green, yellow, and for 3 minutes will show red. After the meeting, I'll come up and share the notes.
Thank you, Shweta. And Shweta is doing it for the first time. She joined for this one, the big back. And one thing I want to share with all of you, we follow the parliamentary system here. So if you, anybody, when a person is in control, he is here control the elector, he is as authority. Nobody else. You ask the permission to come here. I don't. You ask them whether I can go there. I don't see what I am. No, you have asked my permission. Second, this next team faculty member is our counter, who is also joined in April. He is a bachelor in electronics and communication engineer. He is now a quality engineer in Happiest Minds Technologies. He organized a surprise birthday party for a friend of his who was feeling very low due to family issues. After the party, he announced he had never celebrated his birthday in that manner, and they have become, their bonds have strengthened. That is today's encounter, Mr. Ravivarma.
Thank you very much, Abhay. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests.
Good evening.
So, my role as a counter is to count the number of Dutch words or figures like but, like. The speaker may use while speaking, which can impact effective communication. At the end of the meeting, I will report the number of times each speaker used these expressions.
Last member of the tag team is a grammarian who joined this Toastmaster and our club in last year, a year back. She has done a B.Tech in computer science and software engineer in Microsoft. During winter, she noticed her cook used to feel cold while standing barefoot. So she bought a new pair of slippers to her. Imagine her happiness when it was provided. That reminds me of an incident that happened in my life in Visakhapatnam. It was around 9 o'clock in the morning. I was alone working in my office, 204 number. Suddenly, a lady came in with a letter, with a representation, a white paper. I received the paper and asked her to sit down. She stared at me. I said, please sit down. No. Then you must sit down. I'll study your paper. Please. Then she started crying. I didn't know what had happened. I was alone there with a lady in front of me crying. Imagine my situation. Yeah, it was me 2 days. Why you are crying? What happened to you? Then she said, my friends, sir, I have been sweeping the corridor for the last 20 years. This is the first time in my life I was offered a chair to sit. Now, this is what happens. The next speaker, the next role is of grammarian. I request Bhavya Rampal to join me at the lecture. Bhavya Rampal is a lady who provided a pair of slippers to her spouse.
Good evening. Good evening.
for the information of all the guests, every person, every speaker has an evaluator. It is a responsibility to help the speaker to improve his presentation. This person joined the Toastmasters in 2016. He is the founder and managing partner of Phenosites Consulting and Entrepreneurial Relations. A few years ago, his cousin lost his job, and this person helped him to secure a decent job. Like in that manner, he did not save one person, he saved one family and some family. He is an author and written one book, Grit and Guts. May I request the evaluator Mr. Ganesh Pai to read the objectives of the presentation.
To the Toastmasters and guests, a very good evening. Good evening. The speaker is attempting project 2 from level 1 from persuasive influence R. Project name is writing a speech with purpose. The purpose of this project is for the member to learn or review basic methods for writing a speech with a defined purpose and to present a well-organized speech on any topic. Time up, please note speech length is 5 minutes. All the best to speakers and time to speak.
Thank you, Srinivas. The speaker joined Toastmasters last year. He is an engineer and has done his MBA also. At present, he is an AGM strategy at DTDC. One of his friends, a girl, was going through a tough time. She had lost her job and she didn't have sufficient savings to survive. And during those days, this speaker who was going to come here helped that girl both emotional, providing emotional support as well as financial assistance until she got a decent job. Then what happened? Then what happened? He's still a bachelor. But don't worry. It happened what it happened. In the sense, we have to help that forget. Help to forget. Don't forget. We have to watch it. Some people don't come back. But we should not be disappointed. That's a lesson you learn. Yeah. That's Nitesh Kumar.
Audible.
In 1940, a cartoon series was launched, and soon it became a hit. It was such a massive hit that even after 85 years, this cartoon is still relevant. The unique thing about this cartoon is it has 2 characters, they barely speak, and the entire storytelling relies on music, sound effects, and visual comment. Good evening, my fellow Toastmasters and my dear guests.
Good evening.
Let me give you a hint. This cartoon has a mouse and a rat in it. Sorry, a cat and a mouse in it. Can you guess the name of it? Exactly. This is none other than Tom and Jerry. We all grew up watching this cartoon. I still remember I used to sit on the sofa with a bowl of snacks in my hand and my eyes glued to the screen. I used to watch this constant change that was going around, that small fights, that running around, that throwing things, that burning down the house. It was pure fun, pure joy, nothing else. And if somebody asked me at the time who I am supporting, it used to be that little mouse, Jerry. Why? He was tiny, but he was smart, smarter than Tom. He always used to outsmart him. For me, he was that underdog I always used to look up to. he taught me that even a little guy can win. On the other hand, Tom, that angry little cat always chasing this little mouse, he was the villain of the story for me. Because whenever he used to get, because of that, whenever he used to get hit by some object or get flattened by a heavy object, I used to laugh at him. Okay? I never asked these questions why they are chasing each other. For me, it was simple. Tom is bad and Jerry is good, right? End of the story. Then, some years down the line, I grew up. I started watching this series again. I don't remember whether it was out of boredom or curiosity or YouTube just showed me this. Once I started watching it again, this time the experience was a little bit different. Apparently, I did not see or I did not started laughing at Tom whenever I saw him losing. I did not feel sympathy for Jerry. Just think about it. Who was Tom? Tom was a cat. He was kept by the house owner on this house to take care of the house from the little rats. Okay, so that was his job. What he wanted to do, he just wanted to eat, sleep, and take care of the house. Nothing else. He was not even that smart. And who was Jerry? Jerry was that little rascal mouse who used to live on that house, rent free, steal food from the kitchen, burn down the house, break the furniture, and always making sure that Tom gets the blame. The moment I realized this, something shifted. Now, Tom did not seem like the villain of the story. In fact, he was the victim. And Jerry seemed like the villain. Same cartoon, same story. Nothing much changed. But something changed. What was it? It was
Perspective.
When we are a kid, we see the world in a different way. We see the world in binary. It's either black and white, right or wrong, hero or villain. Right? Simple, nothing complicated. Once we start growing up, things start showing us different colors. We start seeing the world in a different way. Then we realize that people don't live on binary, on either side of black or white. They live in between, on a spectrum of gray. Right? The person who seems very arrogant or lashing at us, maybe he's just hurting from inside. The person who seems very innocent, maybe he's very good at hiding the things or hiding their flaws. That tiny little cartoon, that silly little cartoon taught me one important thing in life, and perspective changes. And once I realized this, then it hit me how many times in my life I have misjudged. My friends, family, co-workers, I mislabeled them as arrogant or difficult to deal with without even realizing they are part of the story, without even understanding them. How many Jerrys in my life I thought that they are simple and they only feel good about me, only to get disappointed later. Right? Once I started realizing that, all the faces started rushing in front of me. All the Toms and Jerrys in my life that I researched. Slowly I started realizing these characters just don't live on the screen, they live among us. We have Toms and Jerrys among us. And most important of that is just not among us, it's inside of us as well. Everyone has a Tom and Jerry inside. And sometimes one character dominates the other. Sometimes that angry, frustrated or reactive Tom takes over. And sometimes that little Jerry who seems innocent but always chaotic takes over. And depending upon what we show to the world that day, the world around us judges us. So the next time, my dear friends, when you are in a particular situation, when you have to take a side, pause a little, think and ask yourself the question, am I saying the entire story or I am seeing just one side of it? Because life is less about taking a side, it's more about understanding the story of each side.
I forgot to mention the title of his speech. It is not just a cartoon. Not just a cartoon. Now we are moving on to the second and the last presentation today. Let me introduce you today your evaluator. He joined Bangalore Toastmasters Club in 2002. And whenever anyone meets him and asks him, how are you? He says enthusiastically, I am on the top of the world. One should have that enthusiasm. I can assure you. He is a corporate trainer in soft skills. In his life, an incident took place. One day, his colleague was to give a presentation of all at Infosys. Imagine the prestigious place, Infosys, here to give a presentation. And at the last minute, he backed out. And the manager requested this person to step in. He lovingly agreed. That's the benefit of Toastmasters. He agreed, went to Infosys, and then he was informed it is 1 day's workshop. But he conducted it, thanks to Toastmasters. That's Mr. PM IST.
Fellow Toastmasters and guests. The project is prepare to speak professionally. The purpose statement. The purpose of this project is member to practice developing and presenting a longer speech. Speech length time manager, please note 18 to 22 minutes. I don't know whether you touched base with the speaker, the time cards. You have? Okay. Back to the keyboard.
See, here in Toastmasters, there are different lengths of speeches, depending upon the projects. One day, I had to give a speech, you can imagine, 2.5 minutes. Entire speech had to be in 2.5 minutes. Yes, I had to convey the ideas. That's the beauty of this program. Now, come to the speaker. This speaker has been in Toastmasters for the last 10 years. She is a teacher in Bethany High School. One day, a close friend of hers informed her. Her friend's daughter was in America. She was a Turkey baby. And as usual, the mother wanted to go there at the time of delivery of her daughter. But she could not. Something drastic happened in her life. And she came to her friend, the speaker, and explained to her the situation. Then the speaker said, don't worry, my sister is there in America. She is a nurse. She telephoned to her sister. By coincidence or providence, her sister was working as a nurse, was working in the same hospital where her friend's daughter had been admitted for delivery. And everything went on smooth. Again, cloud, BA, rainbow and somebody else. Now that baby is 2 years old. Fellow Toastmaster, I'm presenting to you the next speaker, Mrs. Smitha Thomas.
About one best friend of yours, whom you can rely on, who will give you a shoulder to cry. Just one good friend. Now raise your hand if that friend belonged to your school or college years. Raise your hand if that friend belonged to your workspace, office. Raise your hand if he or she belong to any other platform? Good evening, Toastmasters and your guests.
Good evening.
As you see, majority of you raised your hand for school and college friends. Studies shows that, in school and college, you have the same milestones. Birthday somewhere around, same sports activities, same hostel, whatever happens there. And this brings you close together. And I'm not different. My besties and myself, we had a long break of 20 years. But when we came back, met again, the fire of friendship was still glowing. The only thing is, before we parted, we were carefree young girls. After we came back, we were all mothers of teenagers. And the Gen X, that's we, were not gelling too well with the Gen Zs. All of us had somewhere or other problems. And then we decided we will brainstorm to get over this. My friend Kavita, she has trust issues with her son. She says, Smitha, my son, I don't know what he's doing on the phone. All the time he is on the phone. And if I take it out, he is so angry and annoyed at me that he doesn't even look at me. And I feel very bad. Being a person who is always with the Gen Zs and Gen Alphas, I had to put it this way to her. See, Kavita, when we were in school, if the teacher tells or teacher scolds you or tells, okay, move from this place to this place, we'll just obey. Or maximum, you'll crib during the interval or the bus journey home. Whereas, now, if the same situation, or if there is a disagreement with another classmate, or an issue with the teacher, or some social drama, it does not end in the school premises. In fact, it starts. It spills over to social media, group chats, hate comments. Depending on the gravity of the situation, this goes on till early hours of the morning. Something that happened to a single person now becomes a common issue. This intensifies the situation. A simple problem becomes more complex. Many people debating over it, it makes it even more complicated. Everyone has their own opinions. Listening to this, the hate comments, the hatred, sleeplessness, it becomes very difficult for the teenagers to handle this. And they don't know how to deal with this. And it comes in a split of a second, you don't know when it comes. This is where the parents have to step in. The parents of this age, they have to make or empower their children to deal with such things. And how do we do that? The formula is earn trust and give trust. Earn their trust and you give them your trust. But how do you earn trust? Like Rome was not built in a day, so too is trust. Your children are like sponges. They absorb whatever they see around, whatever they hear around. They observe parents, how they deal with situations, how do they behave with others. Everything is taken in. They see you trustworthy, you reliable, you honest, automatically it goes into their system. Then it is about reminding them here and there so that it is engraved in their minds. So trust, it goes into their system. And then they know that if they have a problem, you are there. They trust you. They come to you. Well, it's not only about earning trust, it is giving your trust. How do you do that? Believe in their capabilities and capacities. Believe. Let them make mistakes. Let them make their own decisions. Let it be wrong and let them learn from those mistakes as early as say 8 years. When you start believing in them, it gives them amazing confidence. And this confidence, it creates a big bond between the parents and the children. My friend Kaur, she had that bad habit of nitpicking on her son, those small things. But she changed. She started affirmations. She started telling small things she picked up, and she told it the other way. See, son, when you was speaking, that sentence sounded so good. When you were singing, that note was touched so well. And when this became a practice over a few weeks, the relationship with the mother and the son started becoming good. They started trusting each other, and it was much better. My friend Smitha had even a bigger problem. When her daughter started behaving strangely, we all became worried. That was the time when ABC News, they tagged a video, YouTube video. This was a video about Amanda Dodds, a British Columbian teenager. She expressed herself with the flashcards. This video was posted in 2012 and there were 17 million views at that point of time. And within over a month after this video was posted, Amanda hanged herself in her home. She had made this video struggling, bullying, self-harm, suicide. The story goes like this. Amanda began going online video chat in 7th grade to meet people online. A stranger convinced her to flash herself on the camera. For a year, nothing happened. But after a year, suddenly something happened. He came back. He began to blackmail her. Her photo was all over the internet. There was even a Facebook account where her topless photo was her profile pic. She was singled out. Nobody mingled with her. Her classmates did not even look at her. That she had to change 3 different schools in a row. Every time she changed the school, the stranger would go undercover, become her friend, and then start stalking her again. This happened, kept happening. One thoughtless act in a vulnerable moment. She regretted it every single moment of her life. Within no time, she started taking counseling, help for self-harm and depression. Nothing. And this happened in 2012 when the social media platform like Insta, Facebook, it had just launched itself. And this has continued over the period of time, umpteen number of times. I'm reminded of cockroaches. One cockroach in the daylight means thousands in the darkness. Amanda thought it was. And this, alarmed all of us. What's happening to Savita's daughter? We decided, no pressure, no judging. Let us help her talk. Let us make her talk freely. So within a few, it was a lot of effort to make her talk. Savita talked to her and slowly the stalking story came out. But the intelligent intervention of the mother prevented from going to another level. But what mistake many parents make? They don't know the extent of digital world that their children are into. They don't know about the bullying, they don't know about the stalking. Instead, they add more pressure of their expectation on the child. And the child, without not able to handle it, goes into depression or and takes on to some other illegal activities. With God's grace, Savita's daughter overcame. Now she is a chartered accountant practicing in a reputed firm. My friend Sarah, her problem was a little different. She thought, see, I am doing everything for my family, my children. Nobody bothers, no one is bothering about it. Haven't you all heard at least one person telling them, see, I've done everything for, and now I'm just a curry leaf. I don't know. I have seen, I have heard. So we were thinking of some way to help Sarah. And that's when we came up to Gary Chapman's love languages. We came to know about it. Love language, the first one, affirmations. Like my friend Kavita did. Small words of appreciation. And you know, the present generation is just yearning for those words of appreciation. Give it generously. The second one, acts of service. You husbands, you would have noticed that if you help your wife with small chores, how happy they become. Acts of service. Her love language is acts of service. Receiving gifts. Who doesn't like to receive gifts? But then, for some people, it is a little more than that. It need not be diamond jewelry all the time. It can be a piece of chocolate too. But they feel love. For some others, it's a quality time. Your undivided attention you give for some 15 to 20 minutes. And if it is more, they are even more happy. The quality time which you give. And then the physical touch. My elder son, Ruben, he liked to be hugged. From small. But my younger one, if I go near him to give him a hug, he will run 2 miles far. How? Tell me, how do I get? I love him. Then I noticed, hey Raymond, you're guitar strumming was so good. And the person who went 2 miles apart will come here. No. I can see the gleam in his eyes. This love languages was an eye-opener for us. We started observing our family members. What works with each person. And when we identified it, a lot changed in your home, in our home atmosphere. It became much better, in fact. And so we interacted, experienced. It's about expressing love in the way they like to experience. And this was amazing. In these times, when couples are thinking twice about having children, siblings are a rarity. This kind of friendship, the bond of friendship, the relationship which we sustain, I call it my life support system, my ventilator. Just like my ventilator or a ventilator helps us to breathe when we are struggling to breathe. This support system helps us to sail through when we are in tough waters or ruffled waters. Do you have such support system with you? It is said that if you want to walk fast, walk alone, you'll reach fast. You become tired. But if you want to walk far, walk with your friends. Fast or far, it's your choice.
We are moving on to the second session, the table topics, where we learn to speak impromptu, to think on our feet. The table topic master of today has been in this club for the last 3 months. She is a student of BCom first year in St. Joseph's College of Commerce. An incident took place in her life. One day, she was riding a scooter and she saw an aged lady, handicapped, with a walking stick in her hand and a small chain, perhaps a grandchild, next to her. And she was waving at all the vehicles that were passing by. Nobody was stopping her. And this person also thought there is something suspicious, and she rode on. But she put out the toe, her own curiosity, and to help that lady, she returned, picked up the old woman and also on a scooter, and dropped her at the woman's home. Then the woman said, "After walking, I was tired. I could not walk. I was waving at all persons, but nobody bothered to help me. You helped me." Tears were flowing. Then that old woman held her hands and blessed her. And this incident, today's tabletop master will never forget in her life. I am now introducing to you today's tabletop master, Miss Bhavana.
the mood of the sky is very happy. According to me, that's why it's raining, because the heat has been killing us quite literally. And in the morning, it goes through, I think it's PMSing, I guess. For your information, PMSing means premenstrual syndrome, where women go through a whole lot of mood swings, and I think that is what the Bangalore weather sky is going through. In the morning, it will be sunny, or in the morning actually it will be such a nice pleasant weather, and you wish you had a genie, and you can wish that the weather stays the same, but no, the weather has mood swings again. So it becomes angry and it throws its mood swings on you by throwing such heats, like heat, sunlight, everything on you. And then you know how on glucose ads where the sun is sucking up your energy, it feels exactly like that. And then in the evening, it is still hot. And then at night, like this, is when you feel the Bangalore weather is the perfect. Over to you.
That was a fun take on how the Bangalore is. The next topic is compliments are free. Talk about a compliment you received that stayed with you. So this I'll call upon Toastmaster Jewel. Compliments are free. Talk about a compliment that you receive and stay with you.
So as Toastmaster Smitha said about the love languages, so my primary love language is words of affirmation. So I love getting compliments and I love when somebody appreciates me. And I think recently I realized that I make friends easily with people who compliment me. And this it came as a very at times it's not audio good because you need friends also who are brutally honest with you. But yeah, I realized this side of me that I actually love compliments, and I'm very friendly with people who compliment me. So the best compliment I've got till now, I think there are very so many compliments. I don't remember. Another thing with the compliments are that you remember the feeling, but then you may not remember what the compliment was. Also, I'm somebody who would love to give compliments. So the one thing I've always noticed is that, like she said, compliments are free, and there are a lot of haters already. So it's better to compliment them and make their day.
And I'll make sure that I'll compliment you next time. The next topic is, who is your human sunshine? Who is your human sunshine? For this topic, I'll call upon Toastmaster Alagammai.
participate in everything. So I chose these two members. The next topic is, would you rather hug your past self or give a high five to your future self? Would you rather hug your past self or give a high five to your future self? For this, I'll call Toastmaster Asha.
Yeah, past is already gone. Nothing can be done about it. So there's no point in thinking about past. So it's always better to grab the future and the present and think about the best we can do in the moment. So my tip would be always to look forward to the future and not think about the past.
Why?
Yeah. So it's like past always makes us either sometimes we feel very frustrated on the wrong decisions we made in life, and nothing can be done about it. If there are good memories, it's good, and if there are past some unpleasant things, then it will just again spoil that particular moment. So it's better not to remember all those bad memories and just think and look forward to and for the good memory, for the good cherishable memories which we can create again. So yes.
Thank you, Toastmaster Asha. That was a very positive take on the topic. So the next one is, I'll give you 3 words and then you have to make up a story, frame a story basically. So the first topic is flower, umbrella and rainbow. Flower, umbrella, rainbow. Make up a story, and for this I'll call upon Toastmaster Priyanka.
I see a flower, umbrella, rainbow as 3 different stages of life. Flower, the stage where I would like to represent is the stage where I'm probably exploring myself, budding from different situations that are coming across to me. Let it be trying to build my confidence, or trying to make a mark in my career, or in my personal life. Certain decisions which I am very confused about. For me, that would be the flowering stage of my life. Coming to the umbrella stage. For me, the umbrella stage will be my father, my brother, and certain members of my family who play a very, very integral role in my life, who guide me during these confused states. Let it be when I was planning to take a transition in my career, or making certain decisions in my life in terms of what I want to study, or should I opt for study and continue my work. There are a lot of other situations where they are played a very important role in me making decisions when I just cannot make a decision. And the rainbow phase of my life will be, with the guidance that they gave, I'm able to make a clearer decision and then go forward for it. Right now, with the guidance, with the confusion that I've had, with the guidance I've got by my family, I have a fair, clearer picture of what I want to do in my life right now. So I hope I'm able to succeed in that. Over to you.
And that was a really topic. And all the best for your future. So the next one, the next 3 letter words are color, colors, letter, ray. Colors, letter, ray. For this, I'll call upon Toastmaster Puneeth.
to take a public transport back home and just walk. And I was walking, I think, from Vittalmala Road all the way back to Basanduri. At a point, I was just tired. So I sat on one of those bus stops for a few hours, just looking at the traffic move, people go about their lives, Bangalore go through its PMS. And one of the weathers was rain. And I'll never forget this, it started raining light, like drizzle, and then it ebbed and flowed. And when it got really pouring, and I was almost at the stage of crying. And sometimes people say, right, crying in the rain is the best because nobody gets to know that you're crying. And I was crying and sitting on the bench and just processing things, life in general. And I think those few hours really calmed me down, letting those tears roll by and letting the color of my reality shine through. I went back home, finally decided to take a bus back home. And once I got back home, I had settled down my thoughts and I penned a very important letter that I had to submit by the end of the day. So I think colors, rain, and letters, yeah. Letters help you realign with your situation. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Puneeth. That was your duty, and rains don't wash away all the things. So the next three words are sunset, beach, rain. Sunset, beach, rain. For this, I'll call upon Toastmaster Vishal.
I was on a trip to the place that all new graduates go to. Kaur. And the first thing that anyone else would do is hit a MRP store. But I am not anyone else. So I ran to the beach, saw the ocean, and where the sea met land, I met myself. And I knew I had to run in and enjoy the beauty of swimming. So I went, swam until the sun set. I came back, came out. I saw this, and I was laying in the beach, just drying myself off. And I saw this lovely, beautiful girl walking in the distance. Now I knew I had to go speak to her and get her number. So I ran with all the might I had. Thanks to Priyanka's lessons every morning in cover class, I was able to keep up my pace. But unfortunately, I had gone in to Goa in the monsoon, and it started to rain heavily. I had no chance in catching her because among the crowd of umbrellas, I lost her face. So I came back to the land of rain, completely disappointed. Over to you, table topic master.
I am reminded to go to Goa only during summer. So the next topic is, what is your secret weapon to make someone smile instantly? What is your secret weapon to make someone smile instantly? For this, I will call upon Toastmasters Srinivas. Not me.
My secret weapon to make others smile is when I stand in front of you. Whether I speak whatever, you are there to support me. Right? And it's been 2 months that I have got this wife. And it was very much happening to see all of you back. And that's one thing which makes Bangalore Toastmasters so special. I never expected that I'll get a chance. And I would say we can all contribute to someone's life with a smile and laughter. Everyone must be going through a tough time, but we are here as a group to support each one of our growth in career or personal life. So I think I would love to continue this journey which I have broken, because Sheeb has been giving a stare, where were you from so many days? And I was hiding away and saying, yeah, I'll be back regularly. So that's the love which I get in Toastmaster, and be sure that I will be there. And my attendance will shoot from here to there.
Oh.
Thank you, Master Srinivas. You really do bring a smile every time you come on stage, and looking forward to see you every week. The next topic is rains falling and the sky drops a beat. What song do you hear? Rains falling and the sky drops a beat. What song do you hear? For this, I will call upon Toastmaster Srinivas.
Music does not have any language. It beats inside your heart. Everybody has the heartbeat. Plus, they have the beat. When you come across the different situations of your life, whether it is dull or you vibrated somebody, you have that harmony going into your heart. Like ta-na-na-na-na-na-na, ta-na-na, ta-na-na, ta-na-na. This is the first ever tone which I practiced in my piano, which was composed by Raja. Whenever I go through a very good mood, I get this song running inside my ears. I get that vibe. I pass that vibe to somebody else. Not just Raja, could be A.R. Rahman or could be different person, but the vibe passes through. Definitely, everybody has their own vibe to pass on. Let us pass on the good vibes. Over to you.
Rainbows reminds me of. For this, I will call upon Toastmaster Abhay.
Rainbows remind me of the city of Lucerne in Switzerland. And the reason why the city of Lucerne is very special for me is because I traveled there with some of my good friends, and we were traveling from, let's say, the night before, and it was almost afternoon. We had changed a lot of trains to get to that place because the connection was not direct, and we had literally missed a couple of trains as well because of the confusion, and it was my first time traveling around Europe. But as soon as we landed in the city of Lucerne, there is a small river right in front, and we were just walking on the bridge to cross it on the other side. There is a bridge which is made of wood, and we were just crossing it. And as we descended on the other side, I just turned around, and there was this huge rainbow that was touching the water and coming to the other side. There were snow-capped mountains in the background, and there was such a cool breeze blowing that I really enjoyed myself. So all my tiredness was gone, and that scenery in my mind is still stuck, and I think it should be stuck there forever. So I think rainbows really remind me of you, sir.
Thank you, Master Abhay. Rainbows too are nice. See one in Switzerland, in the thank you for all the speakers for taking part in the debate topic session. You all did a great job of thinking on your feet and back with me.
Thank you, Bhavana, for conducting the session. Now we are coming to the third and final session, that's evaluation. The evaluator has been with this club since 2013. By education, he has done his post-graduation in advertising and marketing. He runs a guest house in Bangalore, in Indranagar, and homestay in Chikmagalur called Hidden Valley. It's a very nice place which I have visited more than 2 times. I asked him about the theme and his experience. To put it in his own words, I go out of the way to bring a smile on my wife's face with humor. I have realized that a smile on a loved one's face makes my day. I need not repeat it, I know. But I tried it on my wife. We are only 2 at home, we have shared our duties, and in the morning when I get up, I am required to do 4 things. Washing the utensils, washing the clothes, grooming the house, and mopping. Now after reading this sentence, I started giving a good smile to her in the morning when I first get up at 4 o'clock. Smiled at her. She smiled and went deep into sleep again. Now she gets up at 10:30, comes to the dining table and asks, "What's for breakfast?" Alana, you may not work for everybody. Now friends, I am now presenting to you today's general evaluator, Mr. Aranha.
Welcome all again to meeting number 1473, and what a fantastic meeting it has been. Everyone can smile also, everyone's very serious. Now, firstly we had the Sergeant at Arms Amrit, who's colorfully dressed and has a wonderful smile. She came in clapping, right? And I thought that's a great way to encourage people. Although I don't know what happened, only the right side of them were clapping, the others were looking at them clapping. Right? But great encouragement. To that, one tip I have is that when you're clapping and you see that people are clapping, you can express yourself to make them clap. Right? You don't have to, because some are like, should I clap? Should I not clap? Is this okay for me to do? So you can encourage people to do that, and that makes people more involved. Also, you can look at different parts of the thing, and it has a nice level of involvement. And maybe the left side wouldn't be looking at the right side and probably would have been looking at you, and that's something that would definitely add a lot, especially since it's the start of the meeting. Great energy, great throw of voice, right, which is very, very important, because especially for the last benchers, sometimes they just zone off, right? So sometimes the great throw of voice brings them back, and I really thought that you had a great intro to a president who deserves all the wonderful introduction that he got, right? So please give Amrit a huge round of applause. Then we
had shining example in every way, President, okay, Sheeb, Kumar, who before he spoke, passed it on to our acting secretary, Bryan. Bryan has a wonderful personality, as you can see behind the camera as well. Now, one thing about your delivery was very thorough. The only one thing that was missing was a smile, right? You are saying, and the best speaker was this. Okay. If you had said, and the best speaker was this, you know, sometimes what happens is when you smile, you will normally notice the other person also smiles. And if you're very serious, the other person also is like, should I smile, should I not? Is this good news or bad news? So that was one thing. So I think only that, but very, very thorough and a job well done. Please give Bryan a huge round of applause. We then moved on to our president. What should I start with, right? Eye contact, great. Physical gestures, great. Voice modulation, amazing. Usage of stage. And the best part is, I believe you have masterful storytelling. And why do I say this? Your delivery has a very spontaneous feel. Though behind the scenes there's a lot of preparation. And that is an amazing trait to have. Also, I have been a very huge fan of when he introduces the TMOD, because it's a very unique way. He puts in a lot of effort and it gives it the gravitas that it deserves. So please give our president a huge round of applause. I will come back to our Toastmaster of the day, of what I thought of what he did towards the end. But coming to the prepared speeches, we had our first speaker, Nitesh, who was going to be evaluated by Toastmaster Ganesh. May I request Toastmaster Ganesh to come and
Fellow Toastmasters and guests, when a strategy expert gives a title to a speech, not just a cartoon, it's a sure shot giveaway that there is some intellectual explosion is going to happen on the stage. But what unfolded was just so profound and really left me pondering in more ways than one. So Toastmasters and guests, this project required Toastmaster Nitesh to write a speech with a defined purpose and to present a well-organized speech. And he was right on the money on all these two objectives. And since he works in DTDC, let me use the acronym DTDC to evaluate his speech. First D, dumbing down. Now, a strategy expert, I am grad. I thought he must be talking about some BCG framework, 7 P's of McKinsey, Porter's 5 forces. But it takes tremendous intellectual honesty and modesty to dumb down his own intelligence and take a very innocuous cartoon and present such a well-organized speech and leave us with a profound message after that. I must say, at least in my own mind, the respect for you has gone up multiple folds, Nitesh. T, think in spectrum. And that was the central idea of your speech. To say life is not all about black and white, and since the color gray is closer to white, you have to think in terms of not at least 50 shades, but at least lesser than 50 shades of gray. And you told us with multiple examples why it matters to think in terms of shades of gray, giving real life examples, and it really, that's where I think your strategic shrewdness also came to the fore to say that looks can be deceptive, so just watch out for people. The third word, D, the letter D, I think you excelled in terms of detailing. you fleshed out the both characters, Tom and Jerry, very well, because the Gen Z may not have really watched Tom and Jerry, and given that you really took us through what each of these characters meant, very well done. Now coming to C, and that's one area of improvement, if I may suggest, you could cut the fluff in at least couple of places. I found you were telling about where you landed or where you found Tom and Jerry again, but I don't think it really added to the overall conclusion or speech, so maybe those things you could avoid it. And you also said, the shades of grey exist within us, but at one end you were saying we should watch out for that in people, and other end you were saying it within us. I thought the confluence of two wasn't really required. You could have narrowed down your choices and just stuck to how to be shown in observing people. Overall, I must say you have not only met the speech objective, but left us with a very important learning. And they say it takes a genius to see the obvious. And in that sense, no wonder you're a strategy expert, because it's all about seeing what everybody sees, but thinking what nobody thinks. And in that sense, you have changed our perspective in watching cartoon, and so many people as well. Thank you so much. Look forward to your next speech. All the best.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ganesh. As a general evaluator, it is my duty to not evaluate the speaker, but the evaluator. I just have one thing. I found Toastmaster Ganesh to have done a great job in evaluation. Just that as an evaluator, I feel content should not be evaluated, but the parameters of how they present the content should be evaluated, because content is very subjective. I may think about a content in a certain way. That's my only suggestion. But I thought otherwise, great job in evaluation. Please give the evaluator and a good round of applause. Moving on, we have the second speaker, Toastmaster Smitha, who was going to be evaluated by our very dynamic evaluator, DTM Vijay.
Keynote style speeches not only inform, but they also inspire people. And that's what Toastmaster Smitha was attempting. Mr. General Editor, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. The strong points, Toastmaster Smitha, what you had in your keynote style speech. Very well structured, well defined opening, body of the speech, conclusion. Well done. You delivered key messages. How? By compelling very engaging stories which were personal. Well done again. A keynote style should also have humor. Subtle humor. I think that box was also ticked. Well done. Cherry on the cake? Visuals. A PPT. Fantastic. Now, if you have with your permission, let's see how we can take our keynote style speaking to the next level. The opening of the talk had a lot of questions. How many friends from school? How many friends from college? How many from Rotary? How many from Toastmasters? How many from there? How many from here? Toastmaster, if I'm in your place. Attention grabbing opening. Sample this. Research reveals that in our lifetime, we make about, on average, 29 friends. And only 6 of them last the distance. And out of those 6, research reveals that 50%, about 2 to 3, are from your school or college days. And those besties will stand with you through thick and thin. Something on those lines, just a sample. That gets it to the open for your speech. Second, you had 3 key stories in your body of the speech. The 3 friends, very rhyming, Savita, Kavita, and then Sahira. Sarah, yes. Now what happened was, we needed some ventilator. Because from we finished one friend, we went to the other friend. The story that is. Transitions are extremely important. Because it's your baby, like the G said, the content is your baby, you know what we're talking about. So if I was in your place, the first friend was, story was Kavita, right? Kavita's son. Just think about a possible transition. Now, Kavita had an issue with her son, trust issues. Now, it's not only about sons, there are also baby daughters. And that brings me to Savita's daughter. Some transition. You kind of connect the dots, make it easier for your listeners to get the story. Now, they say know your audience, especially a keynote speaker, because you should know whom you're speaking to really so the message resonates with them. Quick show of hands. How many in this room are parents of teenagers? Please raise your hands. Parents of teenagers. Parents of teenagers. Not one hand goes up. So what I'm suggesting, Toastmasters and all of us, how do you connect with your audience? Looking at the room, feel the pulse. Now, my heart tells me not many are parents of teenagers. Not to worry. It could be your cousin, nephew, niece, neighbor, and this is going to help you. Those parents deal with teenagers. Now, looking at the room, see, my guess was right. Not one hand went down. Sample that. Now, keynote speakers, they are confident, yes, fine, but overconfidence is scary. You husbands, take care of your wife. That's really scary. We could be a little more tentative, recommending. If I may, husbands, you may want to consider being nice to your wife with some gifts or affirmations, something like that. Because we know you're a school teacher, but a school teacher and a keynote speaker combined literally different. You had a presentation, if I were in your place, I would have this lectern moved because I was obstructing the view from about 20-30% of the audience. So this lectern was moved since you had a PowerPoint, a visual. Having said that, Toastmaster Smitha, compelling content was excellent with so many messages. The conclusion is very, very important because how you end is very, very important. There's a message where you want to walk alone, you're not going to get far. When you walk with friends, you're going to go very, very far. And fast to follow the conclusion. And I must say, you come a long way far in Toastmasters' journey. And when they say these speeches, when you speak from your heart, it's absolutely telling, which is in your case. Toastmaster Smitha, we want to walk with you very, very long time and very, very far where we can learn and pick up those nuggets of wisdom. Looking forward to more speeches. Back to the team.
Thank you for that very, very thorough evaluation, DTM Vijayana. Just one thing I think, I don't know if you noticed or it is a point of improvement for Smitha. Smitha ended her speech and just froze. And there was no back to the Toastmaster. She just pointed to the Toastmaster of the day. He reflexively got up and came, right? But I just felt that it's very important to have, once you finish a speech, if you're pausing, say back to the Toastmasters, people know that your speech has ended. And I felt that would have actually added a lot to the end of the speech. So that's the only other suggestion that was there. For both the evaluator and the speaker, please give a huge round of applause. I must tell you, the table topic master of the day surprised me, and in a very, very good way. Okay? Bhavana, your topics were very easy, fun, simple, right? And a lot of people came here and they spoke, and it was very easy, and that's what it is. Most people think table topics is scary, but you made it fun. What was very impressive about what you did was also, it's a very small thing, I don't know how many people noticed, but a lot of times when people came on stage, you shook their hand, and as you shook their hand, you said all the best. It's a small touch that adds a lot to speakers' confidence, and it's something that all of us can learn from. The other great thing was the fact that you had great transitions between speakers. You really thought about what you wanted to say. It did not look rehearsed, and it was like, for example, anything that a speaker said, you specifically spoke to them, and it was not something very vague and generic, right? So great job. Honestly, I couldn't believe that you did this for the first time. One thing you have to probably just can work on is the throw of your voice, because a lot of times what happens is you set the topic, a lot of times the speaker came on stage and asked you for the topic again, even though you had repeated it twice. You know, you need to, when you are giving confidence to speakers in table topic, the confidence has to come here. So it's, you know, the next time just push yourself to, you know, throw the voice, and you have the mic at your disposal, so you have nothing to fear. But otherwise, for a great job done, please give Bhavana a huge round of applause. Now coming to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Robinson D'Souza, I can only say he lives and breathes sincerity. You can literally see the sincerity with which he brings to the role. As you can see, very well attired, and he had a lot of very, very inspiring stories to tell, which were good. Now, one aspect which I would want to bring out is keeping time in mind. I felt your introduction with 4 stories involved. Between the story you spoke about yourself, Ashish Varga's story, to 2 stories related to the team, it overshot where it was 6:40, it became 7:05, right? So maybe if you had also just spoke about 2 stories, the impact of that would have been much more better, because 4 stories, remembering all 4 is a challenge. 2 stories makes a lot of sense. The other small aspect is in between for example, our counter and the grammarian, you had a story to tell, very inspiring story, just that it again added a layer of time, which I think could have been avoided, and maybe 2 other table topic speakers could have spoken. So that is one aspect. The last aspect is, while introducing the first speaker and the second speaker, in both cases the title of the speech was not told, even the second one. I felt that if the title of the speech was also given, it would have added a lot of intrigue into what the speaker was going to speak about, which got missed out. But there is no taking away from the fact that there was a lot of preparation done. Each person who was introduced felt great about being introduced. The stories were very inspiring, and you had gone into great detail about each story with a personalized take on it. So for a job well done, and for someone who has, you know, as a thread, just taken the meeting all along, please give the Now coming to the hidden superstars of this meeting, and the people I'm quite scared of, that is the tag team, because of what they're going to say now, even about me. Let us first call on Toastmaster Shweta to give her evaluation. Please give a huge round of applause.
Hello everyone. Hello. So the prepared speech were under the time frame, and the labeled topics, only 2 Toastmasters have exceeded the limit, Vishal and Abhay. The evaluation, one which has exceeded the limit was 4 minutes 15 seconds. Vijay. That's all. Back to you.
Moving on, please don't roam that. Moving on to the R counter, let me call on Toastmaster Ravi.
Thank you, Toastmasters and guests. So here is my report. No cut words on Sheeb, Amrit, Vishal, Srinivas, both of them, and Shreya. So less than 5 graduates, Asha, Priyanka, Bhavana, Puneeth, and Vijay. And more than 5 graduates are Joel, Abhay, Alan, Ganesh. And in common, I observed everyone used a and repeated word. So,
now on to the grammarian. May I call on Toastmaster Bhavya? Please a huge round of applause.
Okay, so firstly I will go through good usage of grammar in today's meeting for the good words that were used. Expert, extrovert, Robin Hood of public transport, lost in time, never found again. We start seeing the whole world in different frame. Perspectives change every day. Life is not about taking one side but understanding the story of each side. Gen X not gelling with Gen Z. Earn trust and give trust. Children are like sponges. One cockroach in daylight, thousand in darkness. I'm just a curry. My ventilator, life support. Walk fast, walk alone, walk far with your friends. Compliment the haters and make their day. Bangalore goes to PMS. Crying in rain is the best. Color of my reality. Among the cloud of umbrella, I lost a face. Definitely everyone has a vibe to pass on. Let's pass on the good vibes. Innocuous is a word that was used during the meeting. Other thing is cut the fluff. Genius, see what's not obvious. Okay, so moving on to the not so good usage. Best of turn and twist. It will be best turns and twist. What happened in the previous meeting will be what happened in the previous meeting. For those who doesn't speak will be for those who don't speak. Pradeep get up from seat. Pradeep got up from seat. I was stammering. I used to stammer. Group of youth will be group of young people. Here is the guidelines. Will be here are the guidelines. He was tiny. We will use like it for the animal, so it will be it was tiny. The moment I realized this, the moment I realized that when we are kid, maybe it will be when we are young. Everything went on smooth. Everything went smoothly. You honest, you reliable. It will be your honesty, your reliability. You close together, us close together. Big bond can be used as strong bond. Struggling, bullying will be, so it was used in that personal context, so it will be struggling and being bullied. Savita's daughter overcame, Savita's daughter overcome. From small will be since he was small. Yeah, that's it. And word of the day was used only once during the meeting. So I encourage everyone, maybe after they go home, they can think of one sentence where they can use the word of the day. That is better. Thank you.
Thank you, Bhavya, for that very comprehensive list. I literally relived the whole meeting through all of what you said. Anyway, please give all three of them a huge round of applause because they are students of Indian Bureau of the meeting and they've done a fantastic job. Now it's the time that you all have all been waiting for. The passcode is 1104. And while you all are voting, let me take this opportunity to thank the committee for giving me this opportunity to be a general evaluator today. And as I always say this when I take this up, a general evaluator is the only person who doesn't get evaluated by the others. So if you have any feedback that you would like to give me, please feel free to reach out to me post this meeting. Would love to hear from you. Thank you so much again, and back to the Toastmasters.
We are coming to the end of the meeting. Before I hand it over to the President, let me thank Alan. He has announced, even if I have done any mistake or there is scope for me to correct, please come out to me. That's a great thing. Alan, you have done it. See, this evaluation way, he has pointed out my errors. Here we come to practice and to correct ourselves and improve upon our presentations. I thank everyone who participated in the meeting, including the audience, our members, the evaluation team, the speakers, evaluators. Thank you very much. I now hand it over the meeting to the President.
Please give a round of applause to CEO, the Chief Encouragement Officer of Bangalore. Before we winding up, I request the member of Coronation Committee, Toastmaster Puneeth, Suraana, to give information about coronation. 60 seconds, please.
The 10th edition of Coronation is around the corner. For the new members, a lot of clubs join together to form a division, and many divisions join together to form a district. And the biggest event of District 92 is the coronation that's going to happen on the 24th and 25th of May this year. We have a headlining guest who's famous for lighting a cigarette on the international stage, Kothari, who's going to be engrossing us with his insights. We are also going to be having the past international president joining us, who battled through cancer during her tenure. More than anything else, coronation is really that space where you get the best of the best. And that is where you get to do better listening and better thinking. We have gala nights, we have networking sessions. It's going to be a lot of fun, but you come there to learn and to grow. The tickets start at 2,999 and they go all the way up to 8,799. All the details will be in the link shared on the group. There are group discounts available from 300 to 500 rupees for groups of 3 to 5. So please come for coronation. It's going to be worth your time, energy, and money. Thank you.
Thank you, Puneeth. That was 59.5 seconds. So, an important announcement. Because of Good Friday, next week, that is Friday, the hall is not available. So, as per the tradition, normally what we follow is we go for an outdoor meeting the next day morning. So the details will be shared through WhatsApp and other posters. So I request all the members to consider that and be available on Saturday morning. And one more important information, this is purely for the members. Thank you so much. And now the awards. The best auxiliary role taker award goes to someone who corrected my grammar also, Toastmaster Bhavana. The best table topic speaker award goes to the pocket rocket of positivity, Toastmaster Shreya Sadugol. The best evaluator award goes to someone who just dropped down from the top of the world to the stage of PTMC. Distinguished Toastmaster Vijay. Best role taker award goes to someone who speaks. Toastmaster Aranha. to someone who spoke about Kavita, Savita, and Ira, Sarah. Toastmasters Smitha Thomas. I request all the winners to come back on stage. Please, best speaker. She spoke about
being alone with her friends.
Thank you so much. With this, I close the meeting. One for something. Please, we have snacks here. Please enjoy that. Good night. Shabbat.